We can also point a finger at the smugglers who are making tons of money from making men, women and children get on little boats and don't care if they drown or not.
So why do we not then have a centre in Calais where we can properly process applications?
We should, but
asylum?
that's a different kind of part of this debate. I mean, she's got to do a tricky job, sort of Bravman, right? Many people believe this country has not currently got control of its borders. There are tens of thousands of people coming here illegally on these boats and so on and so on. Other countries reporting similar stuff. This specific point she's making, are we now in an age where a lot of people claim to be persecuted who are not actually, by the old definition, being persecuted?
I don't really know where she would have got that from because, I mean, my judgment would be that she actually doesn't really know at all what's going on with the figures. I mean, you said just now that she's very straight talking. I would actually argue she was the master of deflection. She gave that huge speech today, which I think is just a right-wing dog whistle to the right-wing side of her party, the white nationalists who are in the Conservative Party. And there's no policy there. No idea what we're going to do next. No proposition. She's just a racist.
Is she a racist?
Yes, she is a racist. Because what she's doing is she's hedging her bets. She's going to become party leader, hopefully, in her mind, in the next 5 years. And she's whistling to that side of the party that might not have elected Rishi Sunak because they are also racist.
But isn't it true that absolutely anyone in this country who raises any concern about even the small boats coming in such large numbers immediately gets called a racist? In the same way that anyone who raises a red flag about any element of gender ideology gets called transphobe. Because I would say that's a lazy whistle the other way.
Well, then why don't
you just bang out these kind of slurs against people, and actually often it's just a wild exaggeration of what they're attempting to do, which is have a debate about the best way to handle things.
But then if that was true, why did she then identify being homosexual, and why did she identify being a woman? Why didn't she say, for example, seeking asylum as a political, because you're a political activist? Why didn't she say that? She has specifically identified topics that she knows are going to get people riled up. She wants us to fight with each other because then that means we forget to fight
I would
against
say
that.
People are riled up anyway, so I'm not sure they need much riling. People do genuinely care about this stuff. Let's move on to something else like people care about. Ella, does working from home make you fat? This is this new survey. Because so many more people are now sitting at home. Apparently, they're all couch potatoes. I work from home, and obviously you can see, I mean, clearly disprove the theory. But what do you think of this idea that we're now becoming a nation of lazy couch potatoes, and it's being exemplified by the work from home phenomenon?
Everything, it's a bit like everything kills you. Everything makes you fat these days. I mean, I think we're unhealthily obsessed with being obsessed with our weight. But so it's obvious that if you're not out in the world, then it's going to have an effect. And I don't think we should be at all in the business of lecturing people about their lifestyle choices when it comes to weight or anything else.
See, but I don't agree. I don't agree. I think we should have a nanny state. And we do it all the time. We did it with cigarettes. We do it with stuff that makes you
awful that we
really
do
fat. Why shouldn't we
It's awful
nanny
that we
people?
do it with cigarettes. But the thing about working from home, it's not that it's bad for your waistline. I think it's bad for, public life. I think we should be making actually a positive argument against working from home, if I could say it that
well, you've all
way.
made the effort to come in today. Ava, where do you sit on this? I mean, I think working from home has benefits, but it also clearly has negatives. One of them might well be you don't move as much. Apparently, it's statistically proven you don't do your steps that you should do.
I don't know. I think you sleep a lot better if you're at home. You've got more time with your kids. I think you've got an all-round healthier life. And I do think a lot of this policy comes out of the sort of, sorry, but the big corporations who'd like you to travel into work and buy from their sandwich shops and pay money on the train.
Well, there's a bit of that. And I do feel for the small businesses who post-pandemic just have lost all their business because of traffic, foot traffic. But I also think that office life does form a far more creative entity for many companies, particularly creative companies, than the work from home phenomenon. It does, Paula.
Yeah.
When we're all together, if we were all in a room together now, we would be more creative as a group than if we're all at home.
And that's why we're moving to this hybrid kind of format, aren't we? When that research was done in 2021, and of course we're all kind of sluggish, not really knowing where we were, and yes, our backs ached because we sat in uncomfortable chairs. Now we're moving into this hybrid stage. We know what it's about. Do you know the market for fitness apps is quoted as being £120 billion.
And you know what I do? I get on my Peloton.
Exactly.
And I watch Talk TV.
Exactly.
On my Peloton.
Are you a Peloton man?
Absolutely. Specifically an Olivia Amato man.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
best trainer. Thank you, Pat. Great to see you. You got something you want to say before you go, Ella?
Well,
You've got 5 seconds.
You know, wouldn't you rather be out in the fresh air than on a Peloton?
Yes, I would.